Pack your bags, boys. We're off to Transylvania, and we're no coming back without the coin of the lost realm.
Here's an Easter egg hunt you guys like so much. Can you spot the mouse cursor in the upcoming cutscene? Let me know.
This is it, kids. Dracula Manor, home of the legendary Drake von Vladstone, heir to the coin of the lost realm.
Boy, it's kind of creepy out here, isn't it? Uncle Scrooge, we're not gonna break into this guy's house, are we?
Of course not, Louis. This castle has been abandoned for centuries.
Hey, look at this. The Junior Woodchuck guidebook says Drake von Gladstone was best known by his nickname, Count Dracula Duck. Is there really a monster in there, Uncle Scrooge? Don't be silly, Webby. Yeah, there's no such thing as Dracula. Right. He is right, isn't he, Uncle Scrooge?
Of course he is, Louis. Vampires, banshees, and mischievous spirits are just a lot of superstitious hocus-pocus. But you better stick close to me, just in case.
Reluctant to enter the mansion, Scrooge roots around outside. He puts on a show of searching for money so as to not let on that he's scared. How much does he find before going inside? Oh, that's the $64,000 question. Like Scrooge said, today we'll be visiting Count Dracula Duck's mansion. It kind of reminds me of Duckula, the old ducksploitation film. Pay no attention as my lame reference to a 1950s game show reveals the amount of money that Scrooge finds outside. Oh, hey guys, it's a cutscene, be quiet.
And keep an eye on wee Abigail. I'll be back with the treasure in no time.
Aw, nuts. We want to come with you, Uncle Scrooge.
Don't worry. I'll be back with the coin before you can say e pluribus unum.
E purple bus whoum? Yeah, I'm not sure that's as fast as you think it is. Besides, why should we have to stay here just because Webby's a big chicken? Yeah, we're not afraid of whatever's hiding out there, are we? You boys are so mean. I'll show you who's not afraid of the dark. Wait, Webby! Oh no!
Huey, Dewey, Louie!
Will they be all right, Uncle Scrooge?
Of course. Everything will be fine, my darling. Wait here and I'll be back with the lads lickety-split.
Now, your nephews could be dead, and in a place like this, their skeletons would probably get reanimated. So whatever you do,
I'm like a money magnet.
no, don't go up there. That's the exit to a passage from a couple floors up. You're not supposed to go that way. What are you doing? This is why you don't contract out the gameplay for your Let's Play. Or, as we in the biz like to call it, LP. As you pass through the outdoor section of Dracula's pad, please appreciate his Kinect set off in the distance. Also be sure to obsessively check the stairs for hidden gems. Consider filming the pilot of your amateur ghost hunting show in this mansion. The masses of Duckburg are gullible and will believe anything is a ghost if you don't get a clear shot of it. The profits from such an endeavor will contribute directly to your game score. At the same time, any losses will be deducted from your game score. Maybe it's time to stop being an amateur ghost hunter and step it up to professional. Aw, fiddlesticks. It appears that the lightning has taken out the manor's power. We'll have to venture into the basement to throw the fuse. If we have to do this again, I'll refuse. Scrooge makes no bones about making nothing of bones. He'll also disturb coffins for fun and for profit. But really, who leaves their coffins lying about? If you leave your coffins out like this, it's not my fault if they get disturbed. Someone else would have just done it anyway. You can't blame me. Note that all the coffins are empty. It is likely that you are trashing the abode of a mere funeral director. Or maybe it is Dracula Duck that wishes to direct your funeral for an affordable price that won't put your loved ones in debt. Not that Scrooge would go in debt. Too big to fail. Well, okay, I can say that. I don't know why it's written here. Only the true of heart will pass through here on their first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, seventh time. Eighth time. Only the true of heart can get through here on their eighth time.
Hey, Uncle Scrooge, get me down from here.
Players often find that this boss is
Yo! I'm out of here.
Hey, that wasn't a ghost at all. It was a beagle boy in disguise.
Trying to beat me to my treasure, no doubt. But it'll take more than just an old bed sheet and flour dust to frighten off Scrooge McDuck.
Look, Uncle Scrooge, that beagle boy dropped something. It's an old piece of paper.
Twist me tartan. It's an ancient rune.
You mean like a magic spell?
Aye, lad. At least part of one.
Gee, I wonder who tore it into pieces.
We'll worry about that later. Right now, I want you to head to the front door and wait for me. I'll be back once I've found the treasure. Off you go, lad.
I don't need to point out that Huey exits the area by taking the path lined with deadly thorns. Goodbye, Huey. So I didn't show off this area in the NES version, but it's basically the same, sans that Beagle Boy boss battle. Say that 4 times fast. Beagle Boy boss battle, Beagle Boy boss battle, Beagle Boy boss battle, Beagle Boy boss battle. Oh, that was actually pretty easy. Anyway, I mentioned that you can skip most of Transylvania in the NES version, but that makes the exploring you do all the cooler. In Remastered, you're pretty much forced to find this treasure trove, but in the NES version, simply happening upon the basement is a smile-worthy discovery, made all the better by like a million chests all stuffed with gems. On the flip side, this means that Remastered makes a lot more sense. By putting Scrooge's 3 nephews at 3 key locations in the stage, your exploration is sculpted and directed. You have places to go and things you can find along the way.
How's the search going, Uncle Scrooge? Did you find the other 2 yet?
Not yet, my dear, but this rat's maze won't get the best of me.
Gee, when Grammy loses things, she usually finds them in the basement or the attic.
Pay Webigail no mind. Her childish suggestions have no bearing on a grown adult's work and will not help your quest here. Also, she's definitely not gonna do something like help you sort out a Yeti's foot issues in the Himalayas. It is at this time, though, that you may begin to consider how poor a choice it was to bring your nephews along. You're not a responsible uncle at all. Maybe because you're not their uncle. I'm pretty sure Donald is.
Uncle Scrooge, help!
The presence of real ghosts during this fight may confuse lesser gamers. Here is a tip that will keep you safe. The fake ghost never flies, and the fake ghost is bigger. If you get hit, we can't be friends.
Yeah, well, I guess you found me out. Oh well, you guys got any lunch?
No!
Okay. You don't gotta be all touchy about it. See ya.
Aw, that guy gives me the heebie-jeebies. He was starting to look at me like I was lunch.
Well, next time he'll think twice before scrapping with Scrooge McDuck.
Speaking of scraps, he dropped this Uncle Scrooge.
Ah, it looks like another piece of that torn-up sorcery.
Say what?
A magic spell. And it's nearly complete. Just one piece left to find. If only I knew where to start looking.
Well, that bungle boy did say this house has an illusion wall. Do you think he meant...
Of course, a secret passage. Oh, no wonder I've been having so much trouble finding anything around here. Good lad. Now, off you go. I need you to wait at the entrance with the others.
I guess you could say that Remastered is the predictable Oscar bait that follows all the rules and puts everything in a sensible place. The original DuckTales is weird and unusual at times, but all the more expressive for it. I think you can tell I'm biased towards one approach over the other, but WayForward's reinterpretation of the NES classic works really well regardless. Why am I calling it a classic? It's been like 23 years. Give it some time. Jeez. Please you to not disturb the load-bearing coffins by doing something like, say, striking them with a cane. As you can see, they bear the load of the floor. The floor that's halfway between the floor and the ceiling. Wasn't this an episode of Seinfeld? Didn't Kramer do this? You may wonder why Capcom, and subsequently WayForward, made the platforming here so stuffy, making navigation clunky and lending gameplay a stop-and-go feel. I put forth that it is simply Dracula Duck and subsequently Magica Dispel that are really terrible housekeepers. Also, remember the episode where Donald gets possessed by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh? Pretty sure that episode had a mummy. That series had like 4 episodes with Donald in it. That was the dubstep portion of the Transylvania theme. During that portion, all dubstep-related stats go up 50%. If either player has a classical composer in play, that card must be swapped to defense mode. Alright you guys, I needed that extension because I am really reaching for jokes at this point. This is Dracula's favorite Uncle Scrooge McDuck doll. It smells of frankincense and wet dog fur.
What's this? Part of the spell matches the inscriptions on this mirror. Ugh, if only I had all the pieces to this puzzle.
Fun fact, hard mode will prefer extra lives over health pickups. So, if you're having trouble on normal mode, try hard mode. The mirrors make a nice example of the difference between the NES DuckTales and Remastered. Unless I'm missing something, in the NES version, all the mirrors look identical, so you can't tell which ones teleport you until you try them. In Remastered, the teleporting ones have a darker reflection. Remastered removes some frustration, but also dulls the mystique. It's more accessible and less distinct. Employ the helmet transmogrification cane to transform these helmets into delectable collectible gems. Bear in mind that the helmet transmogrification cane, patent pending, must strike the armor's body and cannot be applied directly to the forehead. In the event that you cannot favorably transmogrify a helmet, or you have trouble pronouncing transmogrify, simply avoid the falling obstacle. Or incur an obscure collision glitch whereby you don't get hurt by the helmet but instead get stuck inside of it until you jump. Whatever you do, do not get hit, as this has been shown to increase your risk for heart disease by precisely 12%. Well, Scrooge doesn't count because he has the luck of the Scottish. You may admire the paintings, but please do not touch them, as doing so would involve movement along the Z-axis, which Scrooge cannot comprehend in his current state. Also, avoid drawing any connections between the abundance of paintings in this stage and the painting introduced at the end of the money bin stage, because that would just be jumping to conclusions. Just as mirrors evoke the idea of reflection and gazing upon the past, entering this mirror will take you to like 30 seconds ago in the stage. Thanks, game. I swear, if Scrooge had finished that clip of onward and upward, I was going to have to flip a biscuit. Like any good businessman, Scrooge will keep his X position tied directly to the X position of the minecart he rides. Unfortunately, this means his forward momentum will slow if the minecart rides right off a rail, making jumps over bottomless pits especially perilous. So you should probably use Dixie for this part.
Is there no end to this madness?
I was considering doing a screenshot LP of this game, but I ended up with 30 screenshots for every second.
Lost my hat on that one.
Uncle Scrooge!
This Beagle Boy frolics with ghosts, aspiring to be one himself. Do him a favor by attempting to turn his life ghostward.
Not so tough without your army helmet, eh?
Wait till the gang in Sing Sing finds out you were knocked flat by an old guy in his cane.
Thank you, lad.
Yeah? Well, you better be careful where you go poking around, McDuck, or you's gonna have much bigger problems than me. So long!
Now, what do you suppose he meant by that? Ah, it doesn't matter. Quick, lad, see if there's a scrap of paper lying about.
You mean like this one, Uncle Scrooge?
Exactly. This is the last piece of the riddle.
What's it do?
That's what I'm about to find out. Quick, lad, go meet Webby and the others at the entrance. And all of you, stay put.
The Wild Mouse Ride is Transylvania's chief export and most popular tourist destination. However, I should bring it to your attention that the only maintenance workers are mummified duck remains brought to life by unholy means and reanimated duck skeletons who are trained in the art of crash dummying instead of the art of actually knowing how to fix roller coasters. Luckily, ducks can fly. Check it out, Scrooge has mad hops. And I don't mean his personal brewery, although those are some mad hops as well. You should also be aware that it is Transylvanian law to use your headlights when it is raining. If you have trouble on the minecart portions of this stage, just remember, take it easy, act naturally, and be yourself. But, if she asks you how much money you make, round upwards about 10 to 20,000. My advice here is to spend like 10 years putzing around in this room trying to knock down all the chests. You're not very good at this, but you want to show off to your viewers, or at least make-believe competency. Additionally, neglect to stop by Miss Beakley, who awaits in the room below the chain on the far left of this room. She will forever remain in that room until you find her, meaning that she will eke out the rest of her days baking cake for skeletons, ghosts, and mummies. But not bats. Keep your eyes glued to the top left of the screen and you will witness an amazing feat. Out of sheer something, the chest will vanish. Oh, now that's what I call a stomach ache. Ugh, am I still in this room? While visiting Transylvania, impress the locals with your croquet skills. You're sure to knock them dead. Vincent Price is a fun actor.
Luck of the ducks! I solved the riddle!
What riddle, Uncle Scrooge?
Boys, I thought I told you to stay with Webby.
They did stay with me, Uncle Scrooge. I'm right here. Oh, what a pretty mirror.
Aye, lass. And if I'm right, using this spell will reveal the foul perpetrator behind all these shenanigans. Magic and dispel. Ach, I should have known you'd be behind this.
Oh, Scroogey, my old friend, you wouldn't believe how much fun it is watching you run around making a fool of yourself.
What?
Oh, you really don't think you need ancient sorcery to find coin of lost realm, do you? No, I had Beetle Boys hide paper scraps to throw you off trail.
Why, you sneaky, conniving...
Please, save compliments for garden party.
What garden party?
The one I will throw in celebration when I get home with lost coin. So long, fools!
Gee, she isn't very nice. You said it, Webby.
All right, you kids stay here. I'm going to track down that witch and give her a piece of my mind.
Scrooge's determination is cut humorously short by death to a licky ghost. Ghosts will only reveal their weak point when you surprise them with a flashlight. This is your opportunity to suck them in with Scrooge's Poltergust 3000. That silence is deafening. Please hum your theme song or call out for Mario at intervals in accordance with the press of the A button.
Scrooge, why must you always meddle? That coin is mine!
I know I complained about the boss fights from Remastered like 2 videos ago, but this one I kinda like. In the later stages of this fight, things move at a quick clip, and you gotta keep jumping and going. Is Magica turning into a vulture like a person turning into another primate? Biology was by far my worst class in college. In the DuckTales cartoon, Magica debuted in an episode where she placed a spell on the Beagle Boys to make them appear identical to Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Use this knowledge to alienate your peers who have long since graduated from children's programming.
To your sunset. These inferior mirror and beam spells. It's the last time I shop for spell ingredients at discount store. You haven't seen Last of Magica the Spell. You may have Coin of Lost Realm, but your #1 dime will soon be mine.
After a rousing boss fight that makes you feel young again, return to your flock. Stop being cute and just take the coin. Review the wealth you have amassed and consider carefully how it may be best invested. The only rule to remember is that money is an end unto itself. Actually, perhaps you should consider getting these gems appraised before counting their monetary worth.
Think Magica will keep out of our way now, Uncle Scrooge?
It's hard to say, lad. Folks like her have a way of popping up at the most inconvenient moments.
Well, when it comes to Magica, there's no such thing as a convenient moment.
Too true, Louis. Now then, where to next, lads?
And, as always, be well, do good work, and keep in touch.